Looking at what people have been saying online to us this morning, Jenny says, my daughter is off to Italy with her school tomorrow for a week. I'd rather cancel, but my husband says that it's fine. It seems we hear more and more about these accidents.
Well, that's something I've heard as well, Philip, and a lot of people very, very anxious. But if I can just put things into perspective, this morning the Germanwings flight from Barcelona to Düsseldorf took off. It's now on its final approach into Düsseldorf. Life is continuing as normal. What happened yesterday was an unbelievable tragedy. 150 people affected. We've heard from Richard about the sad stories in Germany, in Spain, and now very tragically in Britain. But compared with the amount of aviation that is going on today, 10 million people will step aboard an aircraft somewhere in the world. Many of them will be on Airbus A320 aircraft. And it is almost unbelievably safe. It's one of the great accomplishments of the 21st century that aviation is so safe.
What are the number comparisons between, say, the roads and airlines?
Well, very sadly, 150 people will die in a typical 3-week stretch on the roads of Germany alone. So that gives you some idea. All of those tragedies, the 150 people who died, it's of course horrible, but there's no reason to cancel anything. And actually the worst thing you could possibly do is to say, right, well, we're not going to drive to Italy or Spain, we're not going to fly to Italy or Spain, we're going to drive there. If you do that, you are multiplying the risks by 1,000, 5,000, 10,000. This is far more dangerous on the roads than it is flying.
I think a lot of people will be worried that this was a no-frills airline, you know, the equivalent possibly to our British EasyJet. Does that make a difference to if it's a posh airline or a cheaper airplane?
Absolutely none. The world's safest airline, in terms of the number of flights without a single fatal accident, is Southwest, the original low-cost airline in the United States. Ryanair, EasyJet are pretty much the two safest airlines in Europe, along with British Airways, which has not had a fatal accident for the last 30 years. That they have unparalleled levels of safety, and however much they're cutting the cost for everything else, no airline is going to cut corners on safety. So it doesn't matter who you're flying with, if it's a British airline, a European airline, North American airline, you know that you are in extremely safe hands.